Deep in the Carpathian Mountains, the earth kept secrets older than time. Dr. Lena Harrow, a seasoned archaeologist known for chasing legends, led an expedition funded by a forgotten European museum. The site? An unmarked ruin, rumored in ancient Romanian texts to house something not meant for the light. She had followed fragments of parchment, cryptic maps, and oral folklore that mentioned Blestemachul Adormit, the cursed sleeper. Local villagers wouldn't go near the mountain. They said it was cursed, a place where even birds dared not fly. But Lena was too fascinated to turn back. As her team descended into a ravine, they uncovered a half-buried stone stairway. Symbols, not seen in any documented culture, lined the stone. It led into darkness, cold and dry. Electric lights flickered as they entered a massive underground chamber with walls carved in old Latin and a language no one could decipher. At the center lay a black stone sarcophagus covered in melted iron and sealed with blood-colored wax. A mural above it depicted a tall man with piercing red eyes seated on a throne of bones, a chalice of blood in his hand. Around him were monsters in chains, bowing. "This isn't just a tomb," Lena whispered. "It's a prison." Her assistant warned her, "We should document it, not open it." But Lena felt the draw of the unknown. She reached for the seal. The wax cracked with a hiss. The iron gave way with effort. Lena's hands trembled as she pushed the lid aside. A heavy silence fell. Inside was a man, or what once was. His skin was pale and dry like parchment, cheekbones sharp and lips blackened. His eyes were shut, but his presence was overwhelming. He wore a shredded noble coat, centuries old. A ring adorned with a red gem was still on his finger. Lena leaned closer. That was the moment he breathed. A gasp so faint it could be wind, but at WASN single quotes T. The man's eyes opened slowly. They glowed red, not reflecting light producing it. The other screamed. One ran. But the vampire moved faster than sight, standing suddenly beside the man. A hiss, a blur, and the man fell, drained of blood. Lena couldn't move. The vampire turned to her. "You broke the seals. You woke me," he said, his voice deep and elegant, laced with venom and charm. Who are you?" She managed. "I am. What you feared did not exist. I am famine to your blood. I am the silence in your scream, and I am free." He stepped toward her, but didn't strike. "Your blood is touched by ancient things. You will be useful." Then he vanished into darkness. News spread quickly in whispers. 3 nearby villages had gone silent. Livestock found drained. Families vanished. Authorities called it a gas leak. Locals knew better. Lena escaped the mountain, hiding in an abandoned monastery with her remaining crew, but guilt gnawed at her. Every horror that followed was her fault. At night, she dreamt of him, his eyes, his voice. Sometimes she saw what he saw. It was as if part of him was inside her. Bound by the seals she shattered, the vampire, once a warlord king exiled by monks, was now feeding, rebuilding his strength. He turned few only those with ambition or cruelty. The rest he drained. He was drawn to cities now. Their lights, their chaos. He wore suits stolen from his victims. He looked human enough. But when the moon turned red one night, a signal only he recognized, the hunger changed. He was preparing for more than just feeding. He wanted dominion, and Lena was the only one who knew his history. Desperate, Lena sought help from a secret order known as Ordinal Focului Veci, Order of the Old Flame. Hidden in the Vatican's darker archives, they preserved lore of ancient evils. They revealed the vampire's name was erased from records to weaken him. But he was once known as the Crimson King, born from a cursed union between a high priestess and a fallen entity. Not even a vampire by birth, but something older. The monks who sealed him bound his spirit to a bloodline lineas. Crimson King could not walk the earth until awakened by blood from his descendant. And Lena's blood had called to him. She was both key and weapon. The order told her, "You must use the artifact that sealed him, the crimson blade, but beware he sees through you, and he is not without love for you, twisted as it may be." Haunted by visions and chased by his growing brood, Lena took the blade and prepared for the inevitable. The Crimson King stood atop a cathedral in Budapest, cloaked in shadow. Beneath him, his followers gathered blood drinkers and corrupted men alike. He raised his hands to the blood moon and declared the beginning of his new dominion. But Lena arrived alone, armed with the crimson blade, her blood boiling, her veins glowing faintly with ancient power. "You were never meant to rule," she shouted. He smiled. "And yet, you made it possible." They fought, not with blades alone, but with power, with memory, with prophecy. He offered her eternal life by his side. She refused at the peak of battle. As he pinned her to the altar, she whispered the old monk's prayer and drove the blade through her chest into his. As their blood mingled, a scream shattered the night. Crimson King burst into ash, his power undone by the very blood that gave him freedom. Lena died, but in doing so, sealed him once more, this time forever. The world never knew what was saved that night. But in the ruins of the cathedral, a mural remains, freshly painted by unseen hands. A woman standing over a fallen king, blade in hand, blood moon above, and a whisper in the wind. Not all monsters die. Some just wait,